I am so glad you are here. It is alive on Wednesday. It's 14th January 2026. Look, special guest Jessica Settergren. I am very excited for this. But let's start with, I forgot to put on my fabulous rings for you guys, but I do have some in here. So these are the ones I chose to wear today. So I've got an abalone shell. I have an adorable little lotus flower right there. I also have, this one's a bigger ring. It's so big, in fact, it's got to go on this finger. This is a pretty pink stone called thulite. And then I had a little Celtic knot ring, which has been really popular this week. So I thought I would show that one off too. No scarves today. Sorry, Jerry, but we have them. They're here for you. And what are we drinking, you're wondering? Oh, it's a little bitter today because I put the last of the green tea in my tea and steeped it with a bunch of other herbs, some burdock, some ashwagandha, and some things. And well, better. Should have put some fruit in. So I'm going to do that when we're done here. Might not drink as much as I usually do during the cast. A hint of bitterness from oversteeping that green tea and the fact that it was the bottom of the jar. So, there were like dust and finings, like little tiny pieces. Ooh. Whole tea leaf, less bitter tea. I'm going to tell you now. So our readers are here. Come and see them. I've got the schedule with me so I can let you know what's going on with them. Today, Wednesday, Eshu is here all day. So if you want your palm read or your tarot cards read, he's here for you for that. He's also teaching some classes. So classes on palmistry and a few on American hoodoo and folk magic. And there are probably some more classes coming in the next few months. We've got some changes coming that are going to be exciting. Tomorrow, Eshu will be here again for the first half of the afternoon, so noon to 3. And then Heather will be in from 3 to 6. She is a bright, talented reader as well. I do recommend her. Ravenwolf will be here Friday from 1 to 4. And then probably Daryl will be here from 4 to 6. Saturday, we've got Eshu for the first half of the day. And Margaret, a fantastic tarot reader, is only here for those 3 hours from 3 to 6 on Saturday. Sunday, Eshu all day. Yay, he's still subbing in for Tracy. We're so looking forward to when she's able to come back. But we so love that Eshu is subbing in for her. There's just familial lines, friendship lines that are in play. They're just beautiful there. On Monday, we've got Daryl from noon to 2 and Morpheus doing dream interpretation from 2 to 6. Now, Daryl is our oracle card reader. The deck is a treat in and of itself, as I'm sure you know if you've tuned in before. It's his deck. He's had 2 copies made. He's got a GoFundMe right now to get multiple copies made. It's a treat just to see the deck. The reading is excellent. It's all good. And of course, Morpheus is very good at dream interpretation. So if you're puzzling over something, talk to him. He's really good at that part. And that brings me back to today, where we'll have Eshu all day. Looking forward to that. It's always a treat when he is here. Did I mention Ravenwolf? I did. Because I'm like, is that it for Ravenwolf? Tuesdays, noon to 3, and Daryl again, noon 3 to 6 on Tuesdays. Did I say Tuesdays before?
I did.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm just going so fast, I can't even tell. All right. So, and what's happening? What's coming up? Well, let me tell you. This Saturday, is it this? Yeah, this Saturday, the 17th. I can't believe it's almost the 17th. Alliance Coven will be here at noon. They are fabulous. They are a recent offshoot of another group in town, another eclectic group in town, which is also lovely. But they'll be in. Those 3 teachers really kind of revamped the teaching of that last group in really positive ways. And they are in doing their own thing now. And really thoughtful, really bright, really good discussion leaders and lecturers, just nice. We also have probably Daryl. I mentioned him a few times already.
Once or twice.
Probably Daryl doing his container magic class. He's got some beautiful container magic pieces here that were very popular through the holidays. I think a lot of people bought them as gifts, to be perfectly honest. They're absolutely gorgeous. And he's got some other pieces here as well, but he'll be doing a container magic class. This will be a buy donation class this Saturday, the 17th at 3 p.m. So sign up. People have already been signing up. Grab your spot. Sunday, Reiki 1. So if you want to start your Reiki journey, just sign up. That class takes as long as it takes, because those individual one-on-one attunements done the old-fashioned way, you get 8 people, you're going to spend 2 hours or more doing attunements. You get 3 people, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It's just not, it really depends on how many people will come. But at 4 on Sunday, the first installment, correct?
First one
of the support group that you'll be running. It's a free event here. That's where we're chatting in just a few minutes. I am very excited about this.
Me too.
Could have used this a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Might show up periodically just because of that.
So.
Because I'm still not over things. Still, been a lot to distract me. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we've got Herb 1 and Herb 3. Those are year-long. They last for about 9 months each with an optional final at the end of each. You get a certificate if you hand me pretty pieces of paper. I will hand you pretty pieces of paper, but that's kind of how that one goes. So those are, so far they have been a blast. My year 3 grit gang is fabulous. My year 1 folks are really a treat to talk with and share this knowledge with. So good on you all. And if you're interested in joining up, you could probably still catch up at this point for year 1, but we're going to get pretty close pretty soon. It's going to be now. You got to wait till next year. So just be warned. Save your pennies if you're interested in joining up next time. Saturday the 24th, big used book sale. So we list a lot of books online at Amazon and at ABE Books, which used to stand for American Book Exchange. Amazon bought it, so I suppose now it stands for Amazon Book Exchange. But we list a lot of books there, and we're going to open those vaults up so you guys can take a look at what's there and actually touch it, feel it, see if it's something you want to buy. There are some hardcore collector items in there, but there's also a lot of books that are super affordable. I'm hoping to get a couple bookcases up here in the next week and a half so we can move some of them up here because they deserve a spot up here because we're not going to list them on ABE or Amazon. And then we've got all the goodies downstairs that never see the light of day.
Yes.
That same Saturday, the 24th, the Alliance Coven will be meeting again. And at 3 o'clock, we're going to have, with our own Ravenwolf, Ethics in the Craft. There's going to be a class on how ethics work in the craft, some of the history of where some of these things have come from. If you do sign up for that class, you can purchase the book at a discount. The book is not by Ravenwolf, just so I'm clear. But it's really good. I read it recently. I ignored it for years. Read it recently. It's actually really well researched. I'm really impressed by the author. So anyway, Sunday the 25th, before we open at 10 a.m., the Intro to Gardnerianism class meets from 10 to 11. That's a free class. Oh, I should say that Ethics in the Craft is a by donation class. Reiki Share will be at noon. So if you got your Reiki 1, 2, or 3, and you just want to come and hang out and talk to other people who do Reiki and trade services, that's the time. We love doing it. Give me an excuse to meditate in a healing way, and I will take it every time.
Yes.
So love doing that. And SU's Palmistry 101 class will be at 4 the same day. You do not need to attend those classes in any particular order. The information is really good. It's presented well. I highly recommend. And the following Saturday, the 31st, Adam's astrology class. Normally it's the 4th Sunday of the month. This is an exception. It's the 5th Sunday of the month because 1, there is a 5th Sunday. And 2, he's got a gig on the 4th Sunday, which, he left me information about and I don't have it in the room. He's got a gig on Sunday. I will put it in the comments when I repost the live, just so you guys can find it. Shame on me for not pulling that in here. I meant to do that. Now, for fun stuff to show you, some stuff that has come in and stuff that I know is coming in. So I'm sure if you've seen us before, you know we get a book order every week. So I've got some new releases coming in this week. One of them is already claimed, however. Just going to warn you now because someone called and said, call me when that book comes in. I'm like, all right, that one's gone. But we did get some lovely malas in from a local vendor. They look to be red and white, sometimes called yellow sandalwood. The traditional strings. These are really nice. They're well done. They're simple. So they're $10. They're great price. He also brought with him some Potala incense. This is one of these more traditional incenses done with Tibetan medicine in mind. No stick and no glues. So these are a little fragile by nature. So you might pick one up and find that it just cracks and you have 2 sticks, not one. But that's why. It's because there's the things that are common allergens in a lot of stick incense are not in here. This is sort of done like Japanese and Tibetan style, and there's no little piece of wood. There's also, in the case of this brand, no glues. So, and glues I'm using as a loose term. Some things that are coming in. I told you there would be some new releases coming in. One of them completes this set. So if you've got these, or you're seeing them now and you're fascinated by them, we've got them for you. But the last one is The Fifth Element of Spirit. And that book is finally ready for release and should be here today or tomorrow. That's usually when we get our book orders from that publisher. So this is air magic, water magic, fire magic, earth magic, spirit magic is on its way. It's quite literally probably packed already and on a truck. And then I thought I would show you guys some of the fun goblets we have. So these have stainless steel inserts. Gotta love these. And I hear somebody out there going, but didn't you have the red one with the octopus? That's the one we sold out of first. I know. It's kind of weird, but cool. And then I've also got a silver plate one with a little pentacle on it. How do I know it's silver plate? It's 2 pentacles on it. So you see one and everybody else sees one. Mm-hmm. How do I know it's silver plate? It has some weight to it. I have an actual solid silver goblet that was a gift to me. It's light as a feather. Yep. It weighs nothing. Mm-hmm. You know this is silver plate because it's got some weight. And also, it's $35, not $135 or $235 for that matter. And the other ones I thought I'd show you, we have these cute little stainless steel ones. So they look silver, but they are not silver. So they will not have any of the issues that some people don't like with their silver. So I've got the tree, I've got the Triskel, fabulous little choices. So that's what I brought for stuff, except for one little item, just one little thing to show you one more time. It's a book by that lady right there. This is Defying Shadows by Jessica Settergren, and it's inspired by your travails through life, correct?
It is, yeah. It's mostly about my journey through cancer, but a lot of it is just as useful for anybody who has chronic illness, because let me tell you, even though everybody thinks that cancer is you've gone through chemo and you've gone through radiation and now you're done. That is crap. That is crap. Survivorship is a lot like chronic illness, because every time you go to the doctor, you have PTSD flashbacks. And every time you have to have any kind of a scan or any kind of
There's the 5 years paranoia.
There's the 5-year paranoia. There's every time you have to have, in my case, because I had breast cancer, every time you have to have a mammogram, there's paranoia.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's constant. Yes. And the stress is constant. The fear is always there. It's always in the back of your mind. Yeah. So very applicable. I've had people feedback from people that say it's super applicable to people with chronic illness, because a lot of what I put in there is, how do you do magic? Mm-hmm. How do you do paganism when you have no energy, when you can't get out of bed? Yeah. And with chronic illness, that cycle is just as up and down as when you are going through treatment.
Yes.
So.
And just as unpredictable, because I recognize that, okay, I'm going to undergo chemo today, so I know I will feel sick at this point for this long.
Yes.
Except when it doesn't play out the way you think it's going to.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I know for my cancer clients, because I do a lot of work as an herbalist with people who have cancer, as an adjunct to I do make them go see their oncologist. I have a rule.
Yes.
You got to go see your oncologist. You got to do the therapies. I'm there to give you herbs to make it more tolerable and more effective. And
yes.
There's lots of good research on that. And it's fabulous. But because of what you just described, that whole, I can't move today. It's just not optional today. I break a lot of herbalism rules. Here's a big one. You're feeling energetic today? Make all of the tea for a few weeks. Can you store that in the fridge safely? No. What can you do? Put it in ice cubes. Put it in ice cube trays.
Good call.
Now, did every herbalist in a 50-mile radius just go, oh, and not know why? Yes. Do I care? No. I do not care, because I'd much rather you get 90% of the medicine than 0% of the medicine.
Yes.
So, yeah, it is startling. And when people then start to connect that, I think, with other chronic illness issues, because I think there's this tendency to dismiss.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine now. Everything should be normal now. I can rely on you the way I would have relied on you, before all of this started. No, you cannot.
Yep.
And that's not an appropriate expectation. I'm sorry.
It really isn't. I am 6 years out from finishing chemo and radiation, and I still struggle with energy levels. Yeah. Still. And it takes a long time for it to come back, and it may never be completely the way it was.
Yeah.
BC.
Yeah.
It just might not. So
there's a lot going. You've gone through so much. It's
Yep.
impossible to know
Yep.
what it will really look like when you come out the other side.
Right.
So
Right. And it very much is, I mean, I talk about it in the book. It very much is it's a death transition, because you're the life that you had before and the life that you expected to have before you were diagnosed is gone.
Yeah.
And so you have to build something new after that. And that's a big change, and it's really hard. So
yes, it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of effort. And that also sucks up a lot of your energy, right?
Yes. So yeah, suddenly you're not doing those things you thought you'd be doing.
Right.
And you're planning everything differently.
Mhm.
And that's why you have, starting on Sunday
Yes.
at 4 p.m.,
Yes. So
a support group.
Yep. So I am in the Twin Cities here, we have Firefly Sisterhood for breast cancer patients. It's kind of like a big brother, big sister sort of thing, right? They pair you up with someone who's got something similar to what you have, so that you've got someone who's been down the path before you and can kind of help you along when you have questions. So when I finished treatment, I became a Firefly sister, and I have had a couple now kind of mentees, little sisters. And when I went through cancer treatment, I tried a couple of the local, I mean, we've got a Gilda's Club in town, which is a big deal. Gilda Radner started that, right? And we've got a couple other support groups, but in my particular case, they didn't work for me because they're not pagan based. They're, I don't know, I mean, they're great, but they weren't really what I needed. And I thought, we don't really have one that I know of. I could be wrong, but I couldn't find one when I was looking for it. So I thought I would start one. And Liz is kind enough to host us.
Absolutely.
So
excited to be hosting it.
Yeah. So
it's not unlike my response when someone says there's not a book on that.
Right.
Write one.
Right. Exactly.
And you did that.
Start one. So here we are on the third Sundays of the month from 4 to 5:30. We'll meet at Magus, and it's basically just a free open support group for people with cancer or chronic illness who are pagan, who just want a place to feel safe to talk about what you're going through.
Yeah.
It's not intended to be like, we're not going to give medical advice, nothing like that. It's not, it's just a safe place to be able to vent, because you can't always do that. And it's hard to really vent about what you're feeling and the frustrations and how angry you are and upset you are to your immediate family and your caregiver circle. And I get that because they really don't always want to hear how scared you are because it scares them. So everybody needs a place to be able to express those feelings, and you can't bottle them up because it's not good for your mental health. No. So I just thought if we have a spot, if you can come, please do.
Yeah, I think it will be fabulous. You do. And I love that you've already essentially had training on some of these things through organizations like Firefly and the good work that they do.
Yeah.
And finding a good support group, I think, is exactly like finding a good coven.
I do too.
80 to 90% of what every coven does is going to be very close to what every other coven does. The difference almost always, for the most part, comes down to the personalities in the group.
Right.
You got to find your style of crazy.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly right.
And so, if those other support groups are there, but they're not quite the fit you need, I think that this would be the smart thing to do, is to come check this group out.
Yeah.
Meet you, see how it's going. Mm-hmm. I freely admit I have, at this stage in my life, no chronic illnesses, no promises. There's diabetes in my family. It could happen. But having gone through the death of someone, with the death of a spouse with a chronic illness, I could see popping in and going, oh my God.
Well, the next book is for caregivers.
Oh,
so
perfect.
That's what's on the docket for the next round, because that's its own level of hard.
Mm-hmm. And they're not the same. Part of, I think, what you need space to do even is complain about the caregivers. As much as you love them and as much as they try and they love you and they're, doing what they can, This is the 11th time they forgot that I don't like pepper on my eggs.
Right.
Or the chemotherapy has changed my taste buds and I can't handle, pepper on my eggs anymore. And I'm tired of saying it.
Yeah.
You're already exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
There are even good care will add to your burdens.
Yep.
I can't help that fact. So, and I have a safe space to say, I can't believe how frustrating. I would never have thought it'd be so frustrating for somebody else to make me breakfast every morning.
Right. Yep. Yep. It is. It is. And that just the loss of the independence where you need to have somebody do that.
Yes.
Is horrendously difficult. Sometimes.
Completely unfair. Not what you signed up for at all.
Exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what's happening. I'm going to make sure that we have some tea.
Lovely.
Partly because even though green tea can be bitter if it's oversteeped, green tea is actually it's being scientifically researched because it actually is really good as a cancer fighter.
Yep.
It's got some fancy unpronounceable name. It's in the book because I can't pronounce it, but it goes in and repairs cells. So there you go. It's on the American Institute for Cancer Research list of superfoods that fight cancer. So we'll have tea.
Yeah, there are a number of herbs and there are a number of foods that really do a good job.
Yeah.
And are worth at least experimenting with to see if they suit you, or see an herbalist who can test them on you. But there are absolutely really good resources out there if you're looking to enhance the therapies you're already taking. Please, please, please get the surgery. Please, please, please.
Yes.
Get the chemo, the radiation, whatever's being advised. It's awful, but it's effective.
Yep.
And I'd really rather you have awful and effective than comfortable but ineffective, or not quite effective enough. I had a client who I fired very politely because they wanted to do Qigong instead of chemo.
Oh, yeah.
And it was their second bout of cancer, and it had already metastasized. So I was like, no, I understand what the international Qigong master told you. I agree with them. I feel that in your pulse. Yes, your body has dealt with this once before and knows what to do, and it's pulling out all the stops, and it's doing everything right. It's metastasized. What it's doing right is not enough.
Yeah.
Please go get radiation, chemo, surgery, everything they tell you to get. And the outcome you would expect is what happened.
Yeah.
And my heart goes out not just for that person, but for the spouse, for the children. I don't know if there were grandchildren, there may have been at that point. I don't know. They were in that age where it kind of depends on when you had kids and when they had kids.
Yeah.
But it's rare that I look at someone and say, I can't have you as a client. But that's one of those circumstances where I'm sorry. I need you to live.
Yeah.
And that means using everything that's effective. So come and use everything.
Yeah.
That's my general philosophy.
Yep.
With any of those. And that includes if you're dealing with other chronic issues, chronic mental health issues, if you're dealing with, fibromyalgia or any of the other lupus, it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Do what the doctors tell you to do, please, when you're that sick.
Yeah.
If you have something minor and you want to try something alternative first, go for it. I approve. Try it. If you have something major, let's use a combination of methods if at all possible.
Yes.
It's a smart move.
Yes. So. Everything in the book that I did was complementary to Western medicine because Western medicine has statistical proven results.
Yes, it does.
And so while in the chemo brain still makes me lose words in the middle of a sentence sometimes.
Well, let's say you do adopt that green tea habit.
Right.
Because you've seen the research on it and you like the green tea. You're able to drink it all the way through everything, which is great. Let's assume that's giving you a 1 to 5% edge.
Yep.
Now that 1 to 5% edge might be the thing that saves your life, but only because you only needed that 1 to 5% edge.
Right.
Because you did everything else.
Yep.
And they got you 95% of the way there or better.
Yeah.
That's the real point to me of the complementary therapies.
Yes.
As we stack those up,
Mhm.
there are herbs that will deprive cancer cells of copper. There are herbs that will discourage the production of fibrin, which is what your blood vessels need as their framework to get to the cancer to feed it better. There are herbs that mitigate the negative effects of chemotherapy really well. They're not perfect, but they all help. And that's their purpose.
Yep.
Is to, if you come in and you've had, you're like, I might be at stage 0.5 of something, they want to do more tests. Yeah, we can do things that might get you down to a 0. Yes. But this is not like my cancer's metastasized now in multiple locations. That's what that means, by the way, if you're not familiar with the lingo. Sorry, I'm talking to somebody who knows the lingo. Metastasized just means it's moved to, and it's in multiple places now. It's one of the stages. It's not the last stage. It's not the worst word. It's not the worst word in the world.
Nope.
It's kind of in the middle, sort of. But it's out there. And you need support.
Yes.
So we're going to have the meetings on Sundays. I'll be in the building.
Yeah.
So I might just poke my head in and say, hey.
Yeah.
But it should be a really valuable group.
Yeah.
Especially since you've already shepherded people through the experience after having been through it yourself.
Yep.
I think there's a real value to all of those things. So hopefully, as a support group, we will see some fun.
Yeah.
And this is, by the way, this is not a by donation class. This is a support group.
Yep.
Just come and participate.
Yeah.
That's the only requirement. If you need it, come and participate.
Yep.
So
you can even come and just sit and listen if you want. I mean, sometimes it's nice to just be someplace where people get what you're going through.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, I mean, obviously we are both very pro medicine.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that I'm going to judge you if you're sitting in here and you're doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you advice one way or other and say, you can't come here if you're not doing whatever.
No,
but
that's not the purpose of a support group.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So you are welcome regardless.
Even if all you're doing is drinking carrot juice. And yes, I know somebody who did that.
Yes.
So nothing but carrot juice. They ate nothing but carrot juice for nearly a year.
Oh goodness.
But I will say,
did they turn orange?
They did at the end, and that's when they knew to stop. That's what convinced them to stop. And I will say this, it worked.
Oh, wow.
So those alternatives, it's not that it can't work. It's that we understand the science of the things that you get at an allopathic cancer center.
Yes.
Which is what your standard doctor would be.
Yep.
So go to your oncologist, please. Yes. And if you absolutely refuse, well, come to the support group anyway.
Yeah.
So we can tell you it's okay.
Yep.
And that you'll get through it regardless of the outcome. You'll go through it, and that you have support to go through it.
Yep. You'll have support. There's lots of different topics that we can talk about in there. And even though we've been talking mostly about cancer, there's lots of different topics we can talk about for chronic illness too.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
In fact, you guys, whoever comes, we can talk about whatever needs to be talked about that day. I do actually intend to have a couple of sort of special topics as this takes off and we get going. I have sort of a tentative idea of monthly topics that we can kind of pick up if I can get some special speakers in and that kind of thing. So
that would be great.
Yeah.
Any previews you want to give us for some of what they might be?
Well, I think that it's useful to maybe have a couple practical discussions, like maybe having particularly for pagans and chronic illness where you are dealing with regular medical stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but every time I go in, they ask me if I have like end of life paperwork, advanced directives, that kind of stuff. The advanced directive that I got had all kinds of stuff for what happens if the worst happens and you need to do a funeral. Do you have specifics about that? Well, what happens if your family doesn't want to do the same kind of funeral you want to do? Do you have direction about that? How do you want to do direction about that? So that popped up on my list as, there are some specific and sometimes heavy, which is why if it's a heavy topic, I'm going to give you guys warning in advance because not everybody wants to deal with that. And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Right. If we want to do something that's specific, like how to do energy work, something maybe out of the book. How do you do a circle if you don't have oomph that day?
Yeah.
How do you?
You're not getting out of bed. How are you casting that circle?
Right.
You can do it.
So,
it can be done.
Yep. So I'll come up with some topics kind of to kick things off. And if we get any kind of special speakers, we'll let you know in advance so that you can decide if you want to come or not that day.
And I should say, there are rituals in here. There are little things you can do. Oh, is it a Sabbath? You know what? There's a page on that Sabbath in here with some, directives. Here are things you can do if you have the energy that are simple, definitely focused on the fact that it might not be your best day, but it's the day you want to do the thing. So, the list of what you need are short.
Yep.
And the list of instructions are short.
Yep.
And that's, I assume, very intentional.
It is. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. One of the reviews that I had said, "Oh, everything that's in there is really sort of elementary beginner witch stuff." And I was like, "Well, what do you think you're going to be able to have energy to do if you don't have any energy?"
Yeah.
Of course it's easy.
Yep. Yeah, it will be so it will, I think to most pagans it'll all look very familiar. And
It should,
and a little stripped back, but very much, oh, you're right, I could do that if my body feels like lead that is going to vomit if it moves.
Right.
And that happens.
Yeah.
I don't care what your chronic issue is. There will be those days when movement is not a good option, if it's optional at all.
Right.
So nice and scaled back. And food recommendations are in here. There's all kinds of good stuff in here. And you kind of go into some details about some of this stuff. Even essential oils to help with things like your nausea and other things that you might want to try to incorporate as teas, as food options. And that's always, if you have a chronic illness, as you move through that illness, your tastes change because what your body will accept changes.
Yes.
And your taste buds will play wonky tricks on you.
They will. They will.
So
my all-time favorite coffee flavor is sadly Starbucks mocha. I know it's not great. And chemo made that taste like kindergarten paste. I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
But it tasted like paste for like 6 months.
It's not a good thing. Yeah. Unfortunately, you have to find a new favorite then. No, I've had family members who have survived chronic issues like cancer. I had an uncle who survived cancer. They did the whole ding, ding, ding down the hallway because he survived, made it through, and went into the first stage of remission. Yay. Hi, Tim. My uncle Timmy is a fabulous dude. And his daughter died of a different chronic illness unexpectedly. Just went into the hospital and then organ failure. Just cascaded to death in the last. And this is all in the last few years. This is all in the last 3 years of my life.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
No, let's add on. My father died.
Oh.
My husband died 6 months apart, more or less. So it's been a roller coaster, which is why I might poke my head in, even though I am chronic illness free. I might go, oh. My goodness. It's just a lot.
It is.
Anytime for the caregivers, for the family,
there's a lot of grief
involved. For the individuals involved. Yeah, absolutely. So tons to do. And there are, by the way, good groups out there for folks as you move through these. There are the groups you mentioned for the cancer organizations, the Firefly, the Gilda Radner organization. But there are also groups for family members, caregivers, things along those lines. There are places to go if the unfortunate last consequence does occur and someone passes. There are organizations that offer all kinds of support groups, a little light on the children and teen support groups I found when we went through this, but there were camps. I think they're officially called grief camps. I didn't call them that. I just called them death camps for my child to go to. And there are a couple of those. There's one organization, I think, now in the state because one absorbed the other, but there are a couple of those around the state. You can go camping here in the Twin Cities or up by Brainerd that I'm aware of. So, and good people. Kind of staffing most of that. So, there's a lot of resources, and this is somebody who can point you in the direction of some of those resources even beyond this group that's meeting this Sunday. Yes, I'm going to keep repeating it. This
Yes.
Sunday.
Sunday.
At 4:00.
Yes.
So third Sunday of the month. It'll be ongoing. So if you can't make it this time, you can make it next time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can let us know you're coming in advance. It's listed for $0.00 at our website, magusbooks.com. Yes, the QR code in the screen, if you can see it, it's kind of above your head, more or less.
Yep.
We'll take you to the events page, and you will see this support group as a choice on our events page. It's got a bright, like orangey yellow visual, so it kind of stands out from all the other ones. It's kind of nice. Yeah, it's like the sun will rise another day. Damn it. Kind of coloring. But you can sign up, and that lets us know you're coming, and it also gives us your email. So if anything were to happen, like you suddenly couldn't make one of them, we would have the capacity to let you know that one had to be moved or canceled. So it's always good to fill in the base. You have to give your email, but it's good to fill in the baseline info, your name, your phone number, because if there's a short-term emergency, your phone is usually a better choice. Your zip code, because it helps us move when we move. Frankly, that's why we get zip codes. But if we've got contact information, we'll share it with you, so you know who's coming, for at least for the people who've registered.
Sure.
And their emails in case you need to reach out to somebody.
Okay.
So all of that will be shared so that you can be communicated with if something does come up that's weird or untoward. So come to the group. If you're going through it, there will be people here, at least one person here, who has been through it and is still going through it. So I think it'll be a really nice conversation to have.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it'll be great.
Little screaming is okay. It's all right if that's where you're at today.
Yep.
If you come in on Sunday and you're like, excuse me, I just have to scream for a moment, we'll know it's coming. We'll understand.
Yep.
I'll make sure that Jamie on the floor knows that,
Scream therapy is a thing.
Yeah.
It works.
It's allowed. Yes. It is actually how I discovered. My husband died very early in December, a couple of years ago. And I found out that if you're driving down 169, having just left work where you had to be nice and going home to the teenage son that you have to, support and help, people can hear you when you scream in your car.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying. Yep. Just know people slow down and they stare in the car and they wonder what's going on. Out of concern, which I appreciate. Very nice of the sounds.
That's when you put a little sign in the back window. I just lost my husband. Please ignore the screaming.
Yeah, exactly. But that was my space to scream if I wanted to scream that week. And, it helped. So we'll understand if you do it here too.
Yep.
It's allowed. But in the meantime, we're coming up on the close of our time. So thank you all so much. And I am so glad to see everybody here. And for those of you who watch on the replay, we love you too. Of course, you know this about us. We love you for all the lovely magical things you do in your life, including the little ones you can do here. You know what they are. I'm not even going to say them this time. And in the meantime, on behalf of myself, Jess, the staff, have a wonderful week. Tune into all the fun little shorts that happen for the rest of the week. And hopefully, if you need it, we're here for you on Sunday. Blessed be everybody.